Any more comments? Back to the questions then. Mark, are you ready for the next one?
I'm always ready.
Always ready. Right, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. So start answering.
So what would you say is the most rewarding part of being a DJ? I think for me is I love to play music. I like to share music with people. I like to get a reaction out of people by DJing. So that's the biggest reward for me, is when I'm reaching an audience, they're having fun, they're dancing, and I feel like I've contributed to that and I'm part of it. So that give and take with the audience is what I live for. And that's what I'm always striving to make happen. So if I'm struggling with the crowd and I'm not reaching them with a certain type of music, I quickly try and change gears to make sure I can reach them. So that's the most rewarding part, is when I get feedback from them after the event and during the event that I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, I have to echo everything you said there. And especially in the transition from DJing in person to DJing on a live stream, I was blown away by I felt very detached from my audience, even though I don't have a booth that separates me in a physical sense. I felt detached because it was very rare that the gigs that I did where I wasn't kind of with everybody. I was very much a setback. So in the walkabout bars that I did, we were very much, it's us and them. And you're either higher up than everybody else or you're further away than everybody else. And you're not always got a good view of the floor and the room. And so compare that to then going live stream. You don't physically see your audience, but you can see what's happening on the chat. And the interaction that comes through on the chat, for me, the reward comes from the energy of everybody. The reward comes from how you are impacting that person through the music that you play, through the communication that you speak to them with, the personalization of the show. All those things and the feedback that I get from people personally and professionally has been so overwhelming at times, where all we're doing as DJs is kind of what we love, what we do. But I suppose I didn't expect it in the early days to get that sort of level of reward. And for it to, after doing it before live streaming for 26 years, and then to start live streaming and have a completely different level, it kind of went from, it was great what we had before, but when it goes to here, it's a completely new level that it's so overwhelming. And again, the connection with the audience that I now have through live streaming is something that I try to then build into the physical gigs. So it's kind of bringing everybody together. And that is, it's not a me and them scenario. It never has been for me, but it's when you're forced down that road by the people that you work for or the people that have employed you for that particular gig. You don't always get that opportunity to have that connection. If you work for an agent, as I'm sure, Mark, you might have experienced before as well, you don't have that, I don't want to kind of use the word control, but you don't have that same connection with your guests, with the VIP, in the same way that you do if you take the booking yourself. Because you can build that relationship with that client, with that person, and with the VIPs, whoever, whether it's a birthday, whether it's wedding, or whether it's a public gig in some ways. Working for Walkabout, the lot of the, what can I say, because of the chain of bars that it was and the branding that they had attached to those chains, you kind of forced down a road that might not kind of work for you, but it's a great way to get work, solid work, week in, week out, if you prove to be good at what you do and you're reliable and all the rest of it. So it's very different when you work for yourself and you have your own bookings and you have that connection and direct relationship with the client. The reward can be so different. Typically you've got the reward coming from the customers because you played their song. That's great. You're not the type of DJ that you can set your watch by. That I got that quite a lot. No, we don't do that because nobody knew what I was going to play next. And hopefully they still don't know what I'm going to play next, but my audience will correct me if I'm wrong in that. But yeah, so I think that for me and Mark. Ian, did you want to add anything to this about what's the most rewarding part for you? Let me bring you back on stage. did you want to add anything?
Yeah, well, the most rewarding thing I would say is getting the satisfaction that you've pleased your crowd and they've enjoyed what you do and what you've done.
Yeah.
I think that's the most rewarding thing. And you meet so many people and make so many friends.
I missed that one out. Yes, you do. Gosh.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You do. And you don't know where... Sorry, Ian.
Yeah, because I've made some good friends.
Yeah.
Really good friends.
And lifetime friends.
Yeah, lifetime friend, yeah. It is. It's really good. And I started in 2006 for the World Cup.
Yeah.
I started 2 weeks before because the current DJ broke his foot and I was starting into it, and we'd arranged a trial for before the match and interval and after, but he broke his foot 2 weeks before, and that's how I started. And I've never ever advertised, and I'm just flooded out with bookings. I'm turning people away every week in, week out. So all I've done is built up is through word of mouth, and I can't fault it.
Yeah. And I've seen from when we started working together, you were busy then. You've never not been busy, but you are totally pulled out with it. So you never get any time to rest.
Oh, no, I don't. I enjoy it. I love it. I enjoy it. And like you say, you can get some great rewards.
Thank you, Ian. That's lovely. So I'm going to click done answering. Thank you very much, Ian. I'm going to pop you back into the ring.
Hi, Michelle.
Done answering. There we go.